us. So good morning, everybody. This is Michelle Landsberg, Director of Advanced Thief Forever. It's great to see you all this morning, and welcome. This is our hard to believe, our eighth weekly webinar, Thief River Falls Strong webinar. And these are being hosted in conjunction with the city, Visit Thief River Falls and the Thief River Falls Chamber, and as well Advanced Thief Forever. Our topic today is growing your business online. And we know with the changes that the coronavirus has brought about, with businesses being closed or limitations in terms of how we're able to be open to the public, numbers of people coming in, and some of the things, and potential changes in consumer behavior, which we really don't know yet. The whole idea of online as an option for engaging with your customers and selling products is really important. It's never been more important. So we thought this would be a good thing to show examples of a couple of different platforms that you can use. And so I'm very pleased this morning to have a couple of great entrepreneurs on the webinar with us this morning. We've got Dustin Manecke with Kindred Creations from Boston. And we've got Kelsey Brateng from Thief River Falls. So I think without further ado, we want to give them as much time as we can. So maybe Dustin, let's shoot for like 20 minutes for your piece, and then we'll try to shift it over to Kelsey to give her ample time, and then we'll have hopefully some time for Q&A following that. All right, so I'll hand it over to you, Dustin.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Like Michelle said, I'm Dustin Manecke. In 2018, I moved back from Dakota, back to my hometown of Boston. So my parents decided to open up Kindred Creations. So what we specialize in is metal works. We do metal signs, custom metal stuff, and then we do some chainsaw carving, concrete stuff on the side, but all our online stuff is our metal portion. So we have actually been in business since May of 2018. In fact, coming up will be our 2-year anniversary. So for the first about year and a half, we just had our storefront in Boston. We're located right on Highway 2. I'm sure everyone's familiar with Boston, kind of on the west side of town where the old American Legion was. We actually owned the American Legion and our Kindred Creations building, which used to be an accounting firm. We have 2 stores there. So you can't really miss our store, which is great. You get the in-store lake traffic, you get all the people going forth on Highway 2. But our goal was to get online and to reach customers that we would never reach just being based in Boston or locally in Minnesota. So with that, I started to set up an e-commerce, and I chose to use Shopify. I chose Shopify just because at our other store, All That and More, we run a Shopify POS system. So I wanted to kind of keep it all together. There's other e-commerce platforms that work just as well, but just for ease of what we were doing, we chose Shopify. So a little bit about my background. For 10 years, I was in law enforcement, worked for West Fargo Police Department. So for 7 of those years, I did computer forensics, and I was kind of the guy that you see on Dateline, to catch a predator guy, chatting with people online. So for 7 years, I got to do that. And with that, when we catch them, we had to go through all their computers and phones. So I got to go to all over the country, got sent all over the country to learn how to basically do computer forensics and find stuff that they think that was gone. So with that, that kind of was my computer background. So when I got into Shopify, it's a fairly simple system to run, as far as if you can run your iPhone, your phone, you can run Shopify. Shopify is fairly easy, user-friendly, which is great. but you still need to have a little bit of computer background as far as coding goes. But it's not too much of a problem that I noticed, because it kind of takes you through step by step. And if you're having a problem with a part of it as far as building a website, someone else has probably had the same problem, and Shopify's got a good platform that you can log on, enter your question, talk to one of the Shopify workers, and they can help you through it. With that, I'll show you our site. So we already had a website up and running thanks to Michelle from back in 2018. She built this beautiful website going to get our products up there. And we started looking for e-commerce. I actually reached out to a bunch of people to use the current site we had to put products on there. I got quotes anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to put products on our current site. And with that, we are limited to 10 to 20 products. Well, in our current store, I sell up to 200 different signs. And with that, all of our signs are customizable. So only having 10 to 20 signs on our current website wasn't going to work for us. So another reason why Shopify was a great option for us, because right now I'm running the lowest platform that they have, which is only $29.99 a month. That doesn't include a POS system. That's just your straight online store. But with that, I'm allowed to sell as many products as I want. I can list as many products. If I sell a lot of products, I can take them down. You're completely in control of your inventory. It tracks your inventory for you, which is great. You put what pictures you want up there. You can take anything down. And that's why Shopify is great for us, because obviously the visual portion of what we're selling is huge to get people there, and you want to have a nice picture. So to be able to take pictures down, pick new pictures up, or I've had where I've taken a picture quick, put it up just to get it up there on our website for sale, and then later I come back and take a better picture and kind of customize it. As far as changing your screen or changing your website, it's fairly easy. I'll see if I can share my screen here and kind of show you our website. Hopefully this all works. All right. So this is our website here. And right now I'm in what they call the edit portion of it. So this is where I go to make all my changes. This is basically my current website that's running. It's running live. You can make changes while it's running live, which is great. You don't have to shut anything down. You can edit the changes and then you can see the changes before you actually save it to put it on the website. So you're in control, like I said, you're in control of everything.
Okay.
So we have our social media up in the corner. We can do shipping on anything over $50, which I highlight. We have contact information. And you're in control.
We're getting some weird noise. I'm not sure what it is. So folks, I think I'm seeing everybody muted, but okay. All right, sorry to interrupt there. Chat, I think you need to mute. If you could.
Oh, sorry, that was an accident. I must have hit it on mute.
That's okay. All right, thanks a lot. Okay, it was just a little distracting. So Dustin, go, please continue.
Okay, so like I said, with Shopify, you're in control of everything. What you're seeing now is what they call a template on Shopify. So when you start a Shopify account, there is free templates available that all work perfect. You can pick one. They're all very nice. I chose to do something a little different just to kind of fit around the products we're selling. A lot of the ones that they have for free are for clothing or jewelry, different things like that. So I built my template. and you can change everything from the color. So like the oranges, I chose the oranges to kind of fit our logo. You're in charge. You can change your categories, your selections up top. So now, like with our store hours being changed through the COVID, I can just go click on it, change it in 2 seconds, and then I can update things as we go, hourly, daily, whatever I want. I have it set up so where it's showing our best-selling collection first. You can name it whatever you want. You can put whatever you want out there. But I've chose, I think, about 15 products that are our top seller products that I kind of want to highlight when we get someone to our site. What I've noticed with Shopify, or I guess anything online, people like easy. So if it's right there in front of them, they don't want to click through a bunch of pages, which I'm still working out the kinks there, being I have so many products that are always changing. I need to take the time to actually still divide out a lot of my stuff based off of customizable, or if they're like American flags or our flags. But I've noticed people like the easy selections where it's right in front of them. So these are, and I can change these out as we go anytime you want. I change them quite frequently if we sell out of something, or if it's out of season. So now when we change seasons, I'll kind of change our products on the best selling list to kind of fit that season. So like right now, one of our big sellers is our customizable memorial solar lights, with Memorial Day obviously right upon us. So I have that kind of first in front so people can see it, see how much it is. They can go into it. And then if it lets me, so if we click on it, I actually have it set to where you can choose our options. So different variants, they call them on Shopify. How many, you get your product details, your descriptions. And then for mine, I have it set up so when you go to purchase, it takes you to a checkout, and then you're allowed to add a note. So for anything that's customizable where people want to add a name, they can add that name to the note section upon checkout, and then I'll get the notification upon ordering what they want to have in that sign or this solar light. So that's a good feature. I learned the hard way there because there's a note feature that's already built in on the desktop version. But what I forgot about is that most people are running phones nowadays. So most people are using a mobile version of your e-commerce or My Shopify. And the mobile version did not have a note section. So luckily I had a gal from North Carolina that was trying to buy a sign from us that said, she had sent me a message that said, I can't find the note section. And I log on to my desktop and I'm like, well, it's right here. I don't know what she's talking about. And then I went onto my phone and realized, yeah, because the mobile version is different. So that's where the coding kind of comes into play. So then I had to go and code the mobile section of my e-commerce to allow the notes to pop up for our signs. So that's probably the hardest thing, is to figure out, because the way it's displayed on desktop is not necessarily the way it'll look on the mobile version, as far as like up at the top where I got home and catalog and how my store hours are dropped down. On the mobile version, they're all straight across. So there's some learning curve that I've had to learn there myself, as far as just working out the kinks. But as far as the website itself, it's fairly easy to use. It kind of walks you through it. You can change your control of changing anything you want on the site. I used all our own pictures. So right there's our store in Foston, which I think is a highlight for us because we put the custom deck on. So, and then plus I want people to see if they ever come through what they're looking for. Then I just did a customer satisfaction for us, but everything's fairly simple to use. As far as I get a lot of people that ask me, like, so when I built this site, if I was just over inundated with orders because I now have a Shopify site and I'm selling thousands of products a day, and I respond with, I wish I was selling thousands of products a day. But I've noticed with Shopify or any e-commerce, is that a lot of people get the misconception that if you have it, all of a sudden you're going to be selling a ton of stuff. And that's not necessarily the case. You still have to put your time into it. You still have to be able to communicate with your buyers. You still have to be out there. With us, I still do a lot of the marketing, and that's another part of Shopify that I really like, is that you can market through Shopify, through Facebook. Shopify, you can use different apps as far as email marketing, ClickFunnels, if anyone's familiar with ClickFunnels, where you basically funnel someone to one of your products. Again, cutting that, basically making it easy for them that here's your product, you can buy it, this is where it's from, and you ship it to them. So Shopify is great because it inundates all that in. Some of them you have to pay, some of them you don't. Obviously, any marketing you do through Facebook and that, you still pay through Facebook. But what I found is I'm most successful when I find that fine line of marketing and then directing them to my site, and then having it easy for them to choose what they want. Like I said, we've been running live now. I think I had Michelle switch us over. So we, like I said, we already had a previous, our cutandcreations.com was what Michelle already had purchased for us and was using. So right now people still click cutandcreations.com and it redirects them to our Shopify site without them knowing. So in the background, they're on my Shopify site, but they're seeing cutandcreations.com. I guess that's probably the biggest learning curve I've had, is trying to figure out how to get the people still directed to your site, get them to purchase. It's been great during these times with the COVID crisis, because I, like most of us, I had to shut my store down in March with the governor's orders. And now I've been so busy that this, Monday we could have opened up again, but we chose not to open the store up again just because I'm trying to catch up on orders and get stuff out the door. So I guess it's been take a negative and make a positive out of it. But overall Shopify is really great to use. Like I said, it's it's not the only thing out there, obviously, but we chose it just because it connected to what we already had. And I have to think about, my brother runs our other store, so he's already familiar with Shopify. So that's another reason why I chose it, where he could, if I need him to step in and to change something quick for me, he already has that knowledge. And I had to think about my parents, who, as much as I love them, they're not the most tech savvy people. So if I ever had to have someone step in to do something for me, that this is something that's easy enough where I could tell them where to go and they could actually make the change and it wouldn't be any problem. So I'll kind of leave it at that because I'm at my 20-minute mark, but
that was really good information, Dustin. And we if we had more time, we could go really into more depth, maybe with how to add a product, how to add a page, and that sort of thing. But, I think our goal today is really to provide an overview of a couple of platforms. So, and if we find that we have more interest from our business community to learn more about one specific platform, we may, look at going into greater depth on, a specific platform like Shopify or Wix. I think that's a good introduction and a good start. And, I think we'll let Kelsey now tell us a little bit about Wix. And I know that also does integrate with Square. So through those two, there is opportunity to leverage both tools. So Kelsey, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey Brateng. I'm a photographer in Thief River Falls for the last 15 years. Just in the last year, we started a new social media marketing business. So my sister and I kind of teamed together, and so that's been really fun. So I'm here to talk about Wix. I came across Wix, probably about 4 years ago. I'd been doing online with my photography since like 2005 through a platform called Zenfolio. Amazing, amazing website platform for photographers. But then I had other interests, and so started looking around, at some different platforms, Shopify, Weebly, Wix. I looked at all of them. And Wix was just really, really user friendly. And it was nice because with Wix, you can sign up for an account and you can actually make a free website. So you don't have to pay for anything until you either want to connect your website or add an e-commerce store. So I signed up and just played around with the website for a while and realized how easy it was and got to know the system. And then I upgraded to a paid plan, which has I've been working in Wix for 4 years, and it's just, I've barely scratched the surface of what they offer. It's incredible. And so user friendly. And they do have, they kind of have 2 different options. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a website. I'll share my screen here in a minute and just kind of show you how simple. You can have a website up in like 5 minutes, like a basic landing page. But you can, depending upon your level, of knowledge of creating websites, Wix has, it's called Wix ADI. It stands for Artificial Design Intelligence. So if you're like, I just want something super simple, you can click on that option and it will kind of do everything for you. You don't have to know really any code or anything. Or if you are a little bit more knowledgeable, you can have a more customized website if you're comfortable with it. So I'm gonna try and share my screen here.
Are you seeing the share button?
Yeah, it's kind of.
You should be able to hit the share screen, and then you'll have an option of just sharing your whole screen or sharing a specific window. Should pop up.
Oh, it's giving me like a security privacy. It says Zoom will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit.
I guess just say okay. Bear with us, folks.
Right? I've never done this before.
We're not professional Zoomers.
No.
I'm trying to come up with some catchy phrase. I was on a webinar yesterday, and I like alliteration. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So I've had many websites under Wix. This is just a couple of them. I also, with our social media marketing business, I also am an editor to a lot of other websites. So it's nice to just have it all in one section here. So depending upon, even if you do have a website and if you're frustrated with it, you can kind of play with this and you can always connect your domain later on if you decide that this is easier. So I'm going to go over here. Okay, and I'm going to just do this really quick just to show you kind of how simple it is. I'm just going to go to online store, and here's where you choose this Wix ADI, or if you want to be customize it a little bit more, you can choose this, but I'm just going to choose the easiest one. And then I'm just going to I've been doing a lot of product photography on jewelry right now. So I'm just gonna, I mean, you can type in and do a search. I'm just gonna do an online jewelry store. I've been doing a lot of vintage jewelry. So I'm just gonna go and connect to that. And then they, you know, they give out recommendations, just some features that they'll automatically, you know, connect to your website. You can do, I mean, there's so many things you can click on. I'm just gonna click on the 2 recommended. You can always add, you know, later on. Just gonna click next. Let's see. And just your business name. And like I said, if you have a website, you know, you can enter your website. If you don't have one yet, no problem. You can add it later. And then of course, Google Places. If you're not really sure how to do this yet, like I said, you can add it later. You can, you know, play with it later on. You can just skip it if you want right now. So here's where you add your logo if you have one. It'll automatically populate your email address to the account under your Wix account, but you can change this as well, and then, you know, enter just some information. And you can add your social links if you would like. Here just gives you a few options depending upon what your style is. It kind of gives you a little overview of what each one, you know, I'm just going to go with retro vintage since I'm doing vintage jewelry. And so now it's creating some options for me. And I love it because like the more options I have, the more like I'm like, I don't know. So it only gives you like 3 options, but you can change it. So that's actually kind of nice. I like that. If I have too many options, I get overwhelmed. So here it gives you just a few different looks of the website, and I'm just gonna click one. I mean, you can, you know, even if you don't have photos, you can use, you know, stock photos for your page until you get photos. Or, I mean, it's so nice to be able just to like see the look and like, you know, customize it as you go. So this is what the where you go to like edit your page. So this is what the front, the landing page looks like. It already populated like Google Maps, which is awesome. Oops. This is, I believe this is like for if you want to do a blog, you can add your socials down at the bottom. And I'm just gonna, so let's say I wanted to add some different things to some different options. So here's where all your information, it's kind of like Shopify. You have all of your, you have all of your editing off to the left here. And you can, you can add taglines, you can put in your site email, and then, add the information as you go. And then photos, like if you have your own photos, I mean, it's pretty simple to, you can change out, like I said, there's so many different options. And then once you have the design that you like and you're like, okay, I think I'm going to go with this. 'Cause up here, I haven't paid for this subscription yet. So then if you connect your domain, you'll get to a page, and this is kind of the pricing structure. If you don't have an e-commerce, you can do a free personal one. Right now they're having a 50% off sale, so it's, it's some really good prices. So this is just an idea of what you can get per month. But if you're interested in doing like more of an e-commerce, this is what you would look at for the pricing structure. And with Wix, you can do, let's say you have a Square. It is, you can connect your Wix website to your Square reader. They also do PayPal. And if you don't have a point of sale system, Wix does, they do handle transactions. And I think the fee is like 2.9% for Wix. But so yeah, I mean, you can have, I'll kind of show you. So this is, of course, Kindred North Connection, it's just service-based, so we don't have the e-commerce platform, but this is just kind of what our website looks like. You can add, you can buy your domain through here if you don't have a website yet. You can have a customized email, like my email for KNC, it's Kelsey at kindrednorthconnection.com. So yeah, you can, there's so many tools. Let's see here. Let me get back to me here. Yeah, so I guess trying to think here. Yeah, adding products. Super simple. I think I have to go to, yeah. So if you go to your store, and I don't think I'll be able to show you a whole lot because I don't have a paid subscription, but so this is kind of your dashboard. If you click on store products, this is where you would start adding your products. Sorry, my connection's a little slow. There we go. So yeah, you just click on a product, you add the photo and all of your information. And they do have, if you do get stuck, on something, their help section is amazing. They have videos, and then if you are really stuck, or let's say you want to do like a ClickFunnels or automated messages or emails, and you're like, I just don't know how to do it. You can contact Wix, and you can hire them to like to do a specific, like let's say I wanted to do like ClickFunnels, which I've kind of dived into ClickFunnels, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, wow, that's a lot. So if you are not comfortable with that, you can hire them and they'll do it for you. So yeah, so I think does anybody have any questions? I don't know if
Well, that was great, Kelsey. Very, very, very helpful. And I guess I would just ask this of both you and Dustin. Now that you've kind of seen the other platform, what similarities are you seeing? What differences are you seeing between the two platforms? I think for a lot of the people that are on with us this morning, they might be trying to figure out, if they don't already have a platform for getting their business online, they might be trying to choose which would be a better solution. So as the two of you are seeing both platforms, what are you noticing?
I noticed there's a lot of similar options between the two. I think ease of use is probably both have going for them, where they're user friendly, and you can pick your template. Same like on Wix, you can pick what style you're looking for, and that was an option for me with Shopify. And I guess probably the big thing is just the difference would be I noticed the prices on Wix are a little bit cheaper. And which is great because some people don't need all the features. And other people want a lot of features. I mean, I noticed with Shopify, they have a $9 a month option, which is basically, you're just limited to what you do, all the way up to $2,000. I mean, there's tons of options that you can choose and use. So I guess for me, that's kind of what I'm noticing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not real familiar with Shopify. I've researched it a little bit, but never looked into it. But yeah, it looks pretty similar. But like, the easy to use, I think is probably the main reason why I chose it. It's super simple, and and it does. I think when I first signed up for Wix, I don't think the payment options were as they didn't have very many payment options, but they've added a lot of features in the last few years, and so it does connect with Square, and they are able to, if you don't have a point of sale, you can do it through them as well, or PayPal, which is what I've used PayPal for many, many years. So, but yeah, easy to use, and also, I help other businesses, with their social media marketing and their websites, and really simple to, they'll add me as an editor, and I can go in and make changes for them, and they can see it. You can preview it, and they can approve it, and then and before pushing it live. So it's been really, really nice. So if I'm working with a client and they don't have a website, or I usually try and push them to Wix because that's my preference. But yeah, ease of use is probably the number one reason why people use Wix. So
it looks to me like these are both great platforms and user friendly, that if with some basic computer knowledge, you would probably be able to be successful. And there are built-in supports, as you've both mentioned. I think when you look at a store that's been a bricks and mortar store, maybe historically bricks and mortar for a long time, and the whole idea of putting the store online could be completely overwhelming. So I guess I'm wondering from either of you what recommendations you would have for somebody that would be starting to put a bricks and mortar store online. What would you recommend in terms of a strategy for starting?
Well, for us, we sell, like I said, we sell a lot of different products. I mean, we have metal, we have wood, we have concrete, and I guess I had to decide what's realistically able to be sold online. You have to think of shipping costs. You have to think of, just everything. I mean, am I going to realistically ship a 6-foot chainsaw carved bear across the country? No. So I chose the products that I could sell online. Shipping was cheaper, stuff that I could package and get there nicely, because even with our metal products, I have to, I can't have them bent or anything like that. And right now we're currently with our other store, which is the liquidation center in Boston, we're building our Shopify website there. That's a store where we carry everything from tools to household. So right there, we're focusing on what we can sell online. So we're doing a lot of our popular products as far as we sell tin signs there. Mower blades, that's been, my brother's been doing that on eBay for a while. So we could sell that kind of stuff. So I'd say pick your most popular products that you're able to sell easily online, ship them. We found out with the mower blades, that tons of people buy them, but shipping's expensive for them. So we have to take that into consideration for cost. But it takes time. You just what we do is focus on one section at a time and build it up. And then it kind of flows from there. Once you get used to putting products on there, it goes pretty fast. That's one thing I liked about Shopify, and what I can see in Wix, it's going to be pretty similar. Easy to put products on there, easy to take products off. If you screw up something, you can change it. So it's, I just say focus on a few products, perfect them, and then go from there.
That's good.
Yeah, for sure. It is overwhelming, especially if you have a lot of different products. It's hard to even know just where to start. So yeah, I just suggest, focusing on a section of products and just starting. I mean, that's the hardest part, is starting. As far as what products to put online, for sure, like shipping is a big one. You can, once you get into the Wix, you can kind of see there's different shipping options and features. One of my clients that I'm working with, I know we've been struggling, they're a thrift store. And so it's a little unique as far as they don't sell, a product, many, it's all different products. Like it's one item, as opposed to selling multiple, the same item, 10 of those items. So that's been a little interesting. And there are other, you can have your online website, but there are other, you can do, sell products on Facebook, eBay. There are other avenues for for that business. There's so many different things that come in, and you just kind of have to navigate and figure out which platform is going to work for some of the items. So, but yeah, it's just starting is the hardest part.
Yeah, ancient Chinese proverb, journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. So, an encouragement to all of us just to take that first step and get started. So let's open it up if there are questions for either Dustin or Kelsey amongst those that are online. We'd love to hear your questions. And as Kelsey mentioned, these are just two platforms. There are others. One that I've looked at a little bit is just a Facebook shop. And you can, from within the Facebook platform, you can set up a shop and sell online with the whole payment portal and all of that. And again, there are many other solutions beyond that. But any questions?
Sorry if I missed it. I have really bad internet connection this morning. But I'm not really in the e-commerce space, but more the marketing for myself. Do either of these websites allow you to link multiple online social media marketing websites together, so you don't have to do everything individually like I currently do and waste a bunch of time?
I can, right now I got my Facebook, I got Facebook, Amazon, I got everything connected through Shopify, everything except Etsy. Etsy is the only thing that I found that doesn't cross over into my Shopify platform, which hasn't been too much of a hindrance because Etsy is pretty easy to use in itself. So, but as far as everything else, I can, when I change my products, I only have to change it one time on my Shopify. It'll change it on all my other systems. So my Amazons, my Facebook, I sell on Instagram, Pinterest. So it'll change them all at one time for me. So that makes it super easy. So basically I only have to do Etsy and Shopify.
Yeah, same with Wix. You can add, I think you add the apps to your website, and it does. I haven't come across anything it doesn't ad. I mean, there might be some, but yeah, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media, all the main ones, you can integrate through Wix. So, yep.
Great, thanks. Other questions?
There's one in the chat.
All right, thanks for bringing that to my attention. Yeah, we've got a few here. Okay, for restaurants, bakeries, or other more sold locally type of products, would these platforms work?
I don't see why not, because even though I'm online now, majority of my business is still locally surrounding Boston, northwestern Minnesota area. So for me, it was just a great option for me to show our products off better. Because for me, I change my signs out all the time. I'll get new ideas and I can post them instantly so people can see. So if you have a product, whether it's food, baked goods, or whatever, and you want to show it off, I think it's great. It allows you to do that. You're in control of the pictures. So I don't see why it wouldn't.
And I'll just share, I think it's okay. Nicole Peterson sent me an email this morning. She'd hoped to join the webinar this morning, but she had a conflict. She just shared in her email, they launched their website last season. And of course, this is a local business, farmer's market. What could be more local than that? And she said that yesterday she posted about what they had available online, how to order and pay, and the pickup date. And they sold out all of their produce in half an hour. So there's an example of a local type of product, very local, and how she was able to get the word out locally and make those sales. Orders continued to come in yesterday for our canned goods. We harvested more yesterday, and I posted at 5:30 a.m. today. We sold out of rhubarb in 15 minutes. So there's a great example about local type of products that can be supported via an online commerce platform. And thanks, Nicole, for sharing that. Other questions? So yeah, I think the potential for just marketing, everybody is looking online. That's their first place to start, as opposed to walking into a store these days. So even if you're going to walk into the store at some point, you might shop online first before you walk in. People are doing more and more of that background work.
And what I've noticed is if you have a product right now that's hard to get during these times, like we've had 4 bike loads in at our other store, and bikes are hard to come by right now. So we've marketed them online, and I think we've sold 100 bikes in 3 weeks. So, because we've had people coming all the way from the Canadian border down to Boston because they can't find bikes at any Walmart, Target along the way. So that's another local type deal. So if you got awesome, great products and people want them, they will come and get them. So.
And how else would you be able to get the word out so efficiently? And, yes, there's a cost to it, but the cost is minimal, in terms of, the potential reach. Other questions or comments for Kelsey or Dustin? It always is awkward to have a few moments of silence. It always feels like, oh, we should be saying something, but sometimes it takes people a few seconds to find their unmute button. So it's okay to pause a little bit. And Kelsey and Dustin, feel free to jump in if you have additional thoughts. We are getting close to our end time here. So any last questions or comments before we wrap? And I guess I'll just let Dustin and Kelsey each maybe make some closing comments, and then we'll wrap it.
I guess I forgot to say when I was talking about Shopify, the one thing I didn't touch on was the cost. Obviously, when you sell a product, Shopify will take a portion out. So one of the things people always ask is how much, and I forgot to touch on that. So for my platform right now, I'm running just the basic platform for $30 a month. they'll take their credit card fees out, which is obviously standard anywhere nowadays. But Shopify itself on the platform I'm running takes 2.9% off the top. So that's something I didn't touch on that a lot of people want to know, because obviously when you sell something or using their platform, they're going to take a little bit for themselves too. So, but overall, it's very minimal. And the one thing I should add too is shipping options with Shopify. If you use Shopify for shipping, you get a discount for shipping costs, which it's probably standard across the board for the e-commerce. But so like the other day I shipped 20 packages off and I've saved like $50 than if I'd have just brought them to the post office. So that's a benefit. So you're saving there and you're paying them. So it kind of evens out across the board. So
Great, thanks. Kelsey, any closing comments?
We do offer, like, if you're struggling and aren't sure, where to even start, we do offer, some free consultations if, you just need a little bit of help, if you're thinking about getting a website through Kindred North Connection. So yeah, if you ever need any help, I'd love to chat with you. But yeah, no, this is great.
Well, thank you both so much. I really, really appreciate you hopping on with us this morning. This is great information. We have these tools available to us, and I know we have Antonio on the line. Antonio, would you like to just give everybody a heads up on our topic for next week? We're going to really shift gears next week. I think it would be probably helpful for people to hear just a little bit about what we're thinking about for next week. Oh, we're muted there. You want to unmute yourself, Antonio? There you go.
Thanks. Thank you guys again for presenting. I think this is great information, especially during this time. So it's very beneficial for our businesses. So thank you. So next week, our topic is mental health. That's a very important topic, not just for our business owners, but their employees as well. So we're reaching out to Tim Denny. He spoke at our manufacturers luncheon last year, and he is an expert in mental health in the workplace, and hopefully we can get him for next week. I think this topic needs to be addressed. I know we got several people that are struggling out there, so tune in for that. Just a couple things that he mentioned from our meeting was people who are suffering from anxiety have 1.5 times likely, people suffering from anxiety have 1.5 times the risk of being absent at least 2 weeks of a year. And also 1 in 10 people will experience depression. So just some things to keep in mind. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you too, Antonio. So yeah, the stress level has been very high, and we know every parts of our lives have been disrupted. And some of us may have better coping mechanisms, or may be able to cope more easily than others, and some have more challenging situations. So I think that will be very interesting information for all of us as well. So thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you next week. And if you have any questions following the presentation today, either get a hold of me or Antonio or Laura via Facebook Messenger or email, or give us a call, or you can always post it on our Thief River Falls Strong Facebook group. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.